Hello, everyone. I hope you're good. I hope you're fine. I hope life is good, treating you well. Thank you for being here. Today, we're going to be talking about where you can find and draw inspiration from in evolving your fashion style. This is kind of a mini series we have going, kind of. I posted a video recently on tips on finding your own style, and then this is a bit more specific. And I have one coming in 1 to 2 weeks which I'm really excited about. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, today I'm just going to be giving little inspiration link tips. A couple people asked me actually, and it's actually a lot simpler than it may seem. So let's get straight into it. Actually, before we get into it, I just want to let you guys know, if you saw my wishlist video, 2 of my wishes have been fulfilled. First things first, I got these jeans. I love them. I think they're so nice. I love the color. I'm so happy. I've mentioned this in multiple videos. I got actually the best purchase ever. I found sunglasses and I got these in a little French shop. They were cheap. It's a sustainable brand. It's completely made and produced in France. And I quite like them. They're not really small. My idea was to go for small sunglasses, but I've found out that small sunglasses don't fit me. And the ones I gravitate to are always like the massive ones. So these are, by comparison, smaller, meaning they're my small sunglasses. Should I keep them on for the video? Is that weird? I think that's a bit weird. For you, I won't. Okay, so we're talking about inspiration, where to find inspiration. The first thing I want to point out, which is quite obvious, is that you're always, whether consciously or not, assimilating inspiration in everything you do and everything you see. It's normal. And we can notice that when things that we initially don't like fashion trends, for instance, or songs even, and the more we see them, it influences us, it inspires us subconsciously to get a bond with this article. Due to being more familiar with it, we start liking it a bit more, or at least appreciating it, which can be a bit dangerous sometimes because that's not necessarily your style, then you're just so used to seeing it. And that's part of why so many people dress the same, because we always see the same thing, and so our brain sees this inspiration constantly and is convinced that that's what it likes. And it's important to be able to decipher between what's completely okay and what you see very often, what is in style way of getting dressed, versus what you actually personally like. Because although you might like, for instance, there's a lot of people whose style I think is nice, it's just not my own. And I think once you make that switch, that's more or less when you have found your personal style. Once you're able to fully be like, I like this, but it's not for me. Especially when you're able to do this about trends. Obviously, some trends are for you. Some trends are nice. I never want to completely demonize trends. But if you feel drawn to absolutely every single trend, that's not really your personal style, then is it? You know what I mean? Do you understand what I mean? So yeah, that's just, I wanted to point that out. And that's why it's super important to keep your eyes open for different inspiration and to kind of feed yourself inspiration from sources that more so align with your style and with your point of view. I still think it's important to see different things and to not like hyper fixate on one super specific style, because you might be blocking yourself from potential openings. Like you might be closing doors unintentionally that would actually be beautiful to explore. But anyway, okay. First, like actual tip. Magazines. I love magazines. I love physical media. I love books. I love vinyls. I love DVDs. I love magazines, and they can be a bit pricey, but every once in a while it's so nice. And I'm currently reading the Harper Bazaar from, I think, August, maybe early September, but definitely not the most recent one. It's so nice. I'm discovering so many things. Harper Bazaar, especially, it's very much fashion oriented, but not only. It's beautiful. You see the trends, but it's not. Magazines don't showcase them in the exact same way as TikTok does, and your information is gathered much slowly and more consciously. You're not just scrolling without thinking, you're seeing the thing, you have time to reflect, you have time to be like, oh, do I like this? Do I not like this? What do I think? You know? Obviously, you don't need to like deeply question yourself on every single thing you see, although that might really help you in finding out what you like and what you dislike. And the main gist of having personal style is understanding what you yourself like, what you dislike, and why, and then living or dressing in accordance to that. You see? Magazines are also just really fun. I love a good magazine. They're nice, they're glossy. It's such an experience. To me, it's such a treat because some aren't that expensive. You can get some for like under €5, which is not that bad. Whatever, I'm not here to tell you what to do with your money, but to me, it's definitely worth spending the €5 on a magazine every once in a while. And to actually look at what I'm seeing, understand it, digest it, and then really ask yourself these questions. That's a really fun source of inspiration. I love it so much. Then, and I've spoken about this before, and I have a video, I'll link it down below. Watch fashion shows. If you're really into fashion, this is such an interesting thing to do. The Vogue app is amazing for this because you can look at different brands you like specifically. You can search them, or you can take whatever pops up on your feed. You can see their entire collection. You can see their prêt-à-porter. You can see their haute couture. You can see their catalogs. There's a name for this. I can't think of it right now. I love those. Sandy Liang does amazing ones. And it's so interesting to see. It's just expanding your sources, you know. That's such a beautiful way to find inspiration. And even and I've spoken about this before, even in the haute couture shows, which obviously, like, you're not going to be strutting down your little town wearing this or this or even this, but you can see what you like. Like, you can look at one piece and be like, oh, I really like the structural elements in this, and that's something you can find in future pieces. Or say, this is a very maybe far-fetched example, but I'm a big fan of Iris van Herpen's work. I like this like flowery structural element. I find this in this shirt. It's obviously, I'm not wearing Iris van Herpen right now. Obviously, I don't look like I've been plucked out of a field, but there are elements from my top which match or which are inspired by Iris van Herpen's show. We're not inspired in the making, but there's a link. There's a link between, oh, I like that in the show, and oh, I like this top, and thus I wear this top because it reflects what I like and thus reflects my style. Very similarly, get inspiration from any art. Fashion is an art form, so what you like in one art form does coincide with what you like in general and with what you like in fashion. This goes for colors, shapes. This goes for aesthetics in quotations, or like vibes in quotations. I really love Wes Anderson movies. I love the cinematography. I love the color. Get away! I keep getting little bugs. I love the cinematography. I love the color scheme, and yet most of my outfits are really neutral in colors. I'm not big on wearing colors, but you can draw inspiration from them. You can see what you like, why you like that, and sometimes also it can be fun. That's a really fun thing. Also in shows, for instance, Friends has amazing fashion, very much in the 90s minimalism vibe. I love that. I love that so much. That also, you can see so much from runways. I'd love to do. Let me know if you'd want to see a video where I do that more, like where I try to recreate elements of favorite runway shows. We'll see if I can do that. We'll see. Actually, that's okay. Anyway, yeah, get inspiration from shows. Do your favorite characters. Why do you like what they're wearing? And another way you can do that is looking at like old magazine, old shows, old fashion shows, your parents' photos maybe. My mom was such a fashion icon. My mom's style was, and still is, really good, and I draw in a little secret admirative manner. I draw so much inspiration from the way my mom draws. If I could, from the way my mom dresses, if I could have her entire closet of her 20s to 30s, like 20 until 40, even now, but especially those years, I would. And that is such a sweet way also to draw inspiration, see how they dress. And especially because back then trends cycled way slower. So obviously there will be an influence of trends unless your parent either lived under a rock or was super determined on their own sense of style, which is really cool. I'm not judging, but there probably will be some influence of trends, but not the same way as now. And me personally, like, I would love it if when my kids eventually look through my photo albums, they could also decipher my own sense of style. Do you know what I mean? And not just be like, oh yeah, that was trending in 2020, that was trending in 2021, that was trending fall 2022, you know? So source inspiration from anything you can, really. Then this is one of my absolute favorite things to do, and this might be a little bit Joe from you vibes, but is people watching and analyzing what you like. I've done this so many times where I'll sit in a cafe, try to get a window seat, like, you know what I mean, like one that's viewing the street or outside on the little terrace. France is literally built for that. French cafes are built was if you have a little table, both chairs face the street. So you sit side by side so you can admire or judge essentially the passerbys. And then this is so funny. The other day, I was at a uni party and it was starting really slow. I was not having that good of a time. But anyway, I made a little note of clothes people were wearing that I liked. I was just looking around, and then a lot of girls had like a shawl, you know, like like basically a scarf that they wrapped around their shoulder because it was the evenings was kind of cold but not really cold. And I was like, that looks so cool. I love that style. Put on my list. Like I notice actually people notice what works, what doesn't work. When you see an outfit, quickly be like, oh, I like this. Why do I like this? What part of that outfit do I like? Sometimes you'll like the general outfit, but that does not necessarily mean you need to buy it or recreate it piece for piece. You need to instead understand what of the outfits you like. Another thing I put is going out bottoms. A lot of girls had really cute little shorts and stuff and skirts. And I realized I don't really have any, like, I have I cut a couple tops because it's like jeans and a cute top, but that's so boring. I want cute bottoms too, so that's on my list. I really need closed heels. And then a white blouse. I'm kind of wearing one now, but that's the only one I have. See? Inspiration. I haven't worn this top in forever, and probably in a way I don't even properly realize right now. I was inspired to wear this top because I was people watching and I was looking at what the other people were wearing, and I noticed that I really like that look. So people watch. People are your greatest source of inspiration. Sometimes this can be hard when you live somewhere where other people's style doesn't align with yours, but that can also help by seeing what you dislike. You can learn to understand what you do like, and so you can be like, if you see someone's outfit and you're not the biggest fan of it, ask yourself why. What do I not like about this? What would I do differently? How could I wear a similar outfit that would be more mine? That helps a lot. Then, in finding your own style, use Pinterest with caution, be careful not to just copy. The other day, this video came on my feed by Katie Robinson on personal style, and because I am currently making this video, I watched it, and very good video, I'll link it down below. And one thing she said, that is such a genius hack, so I need to share it with you guys. She was saying on Pinterest, and I get this so much, where I totally see what she means. Sometimes you'll see a post, you'll see someone who looks really cool, and you think it's the outfit, but sometimes it's not just the outfit. They just look beautiful, or just they radiate this energy, and it's so cool. And so you assume that if you wear that outfit, you will radiate the same, and not necessarily. Not necessarily need to. I was conscious of this, and I would always ask myself, do I want to wear what they're wearing, or do I want to be them? Because those are two completely separate things, and the outfit is not going to turn you into them. Sorry, not sorry. And she said this hack, which changed something in my brain, and which was to cut out the people's face and see if you still like the outfit as much. Or what I try to do also is like ignore the background, ignore the context. See like just the outfit. That is such a good hack. That is such a good hack. Be careful with Pinterest. Be careful. You don't just spend hours pinning a bunch of things, and then at the end you have some mood board. And Pinterest is also very much affected by trends. Duh, it is a social media platform. So really be careful when you use Pinterest. The sun is really hitting me in the face. I don't know if my advice would be to limit your Pinterest use a bit in finding style, and stick more to like your notes app and your observations and what you like and why you like what you like. And when you're shopping, really try to keep that in mind. Window shopping is also really good for inspiration, by the way. That depends on the kind of person you are, though. If you're an impulse buyer, maybe window shopping is not the best idea because it might just push you to buy clothes that don't suit what you had in mind at all. I'm not so much of an impulse buyer, so for me it works. But yeah, overall, in a nutshell, keep an eye open for what you see. Be analytical, be reflective. Why do I like what I like? Why do I dislike what I dislike? And just have a bit of fun. Just have a bit of fun. Collect data. Do like a mini in your brain scrapbook. If this is for me a continuous process, but at the moment, personal style is a question that has been on my mind because I've been having a really hard time getting dressed. And so I feel a bit like I'm on a continuous mission. I'm trying to gather as much information. I'm trying to dissect the information I have and understand it to the core. And then I'm trying to use that information to do my shopping, to do my accessorizing, to do my everyday styling. It takes a bit of effort sometimes, but I do believe and I do hope eventually we'll get to a point where it's so natural. And yeah, um, I hope this video helped you a bit. I hope you go buy a magazine. I hope you go diminish your Pinterest screen time. And I hope to see you again really, really soon. Like, follow, comment, subscribe. Comments actually mean the world to me. I read them all. I get so giddy about them. I'm on my bed, feet swinging, grinning. Really, you mean the world to me. Thank you so, so much. And see you soon. Bye.